fourth bottom of the division, having not won in the past 4 league games, and have won just 1 of their last 7 away trips this season. While they aren't moving mountains in the Championship, the Pride are well in the hunt for silverware this season. Like Blues, they've reached the 5th round of the FA Cup, where they'll face Liverpool, and in midweek progressed into the quarter-finals of the Conti Cup, topping their group for the first time in their history. The Pride then hoping their quest for a trophy can inspire a turnaround in their league form starting today. Darren Carter, as expected, shuffles the pack from the Conti Cup win against West Ham in midweek. 3 changes, Fuso and Devlin dropped to the bench, and a shoulder injury that Louise Quinn suffered in that Conti Cup game in midweek keeps her out of the side. And in comes Gemma Lawley, who scored the winner when these two met in the capital last year. And Yuri and Cho Sun-yun also come in to make their first league start. So Thomas in goal, Mason, Heron, Lawley, Finn make up the back line. Cho, Ag and Harrison Murray, that midfield 3. Lily Ag, of course, missing a penalty when we last faced these away from home against her former club. And then Yuri and Lucy Quinn will flank Claudia Walker, who is the sole striker for Blues this afternoon. As for the Lionesses, Hermione Cull comes in to start in goal. She's retained her place after starting the last 2 games for London City Lionesses. Neville, Brougham, Cohen and Mukandi across the back. Emma Mukandi, the Scottish international who was sent off in the reverse fixture for kicking out at Cho Yuri. She starts at left back. There's 2 in front of them. Roshia Littlejohn and Connie Schofield will survey in front of that back line, with Chani Boy Haloka and Tiana Alexander flanking Nicole Douglas, the number 9, making her debut for London City Lionesses today, and Danielle Carter, who's proven to be a nuisance for many a women's championship side this season already. 5 league goals to her name already this season for Danielle Carter. So they're the lineups, those are the stakes, and now we will honour a very special boy, the 17th of June 2020, the day when a shining, bubbly young boy was taken far too soon. Arthur Labinjo-Hughes will be honoured with a minute's applause at St Andrews. Three and a half years since Arthur Labinjo-Hughes lost his life. Arthur's era to the left of me stands as a permanent legacy of the club's unwavering support to the NSPCC, with the club seeking to ensure that no child experiences the horrors that Arthur went through. So Blues up against the Pride to put the pressure back on the leading pack in the Women's Championship. 3 points is vital today. The Lionesses have a good record here, having won their last 2 visits and winning 4 of their last 5 encounters with Blues. Gemma Lawley's early header was enough for Blues to take all 3 points from the capital back in November, but the Pride travel here this afternoon looking for, well, just that, pride, as all 22 players take the knee in the ongoing battle against discrimination and inequality across sport, across all of society. And we are underway here at St Andrews. Blues kicking from right to left in this first half. Blues in their classic royal blue jerseys with the blue shorts, white socks. London City Lionesses in their away strip of the pink shirts with the black shorts and the pink socks. They kick from left to right, and it's the capital side that get us underway here in B9. Well, the Lionesses have underwhelmed this season and are desperate to get the second half of the campaign off to a strong start. Carolina Moraes' side may have their work cut out if they want their renaissance to start here. Blues, of course, unbeaten at St Andrews in 5 and have won their last 4 in all competitions as they strive to make St Andrews a fortress again. Tom Wagner in attendance, the chairman of the board, who in the week when Knightshead pledged the largest sponsorship deal in Birmingham City history, further to bolster this Colosseum of English football. He's in attendance in the Alliance today after travelling with 5,000 strong Blue Nose support to the King Power Stadium in Leicester yesterday, where the Blues men's side bowed out of the FA Cup at the 4th round stage. And Cho Sun-hyun in early involvement down the left-hand side. She's making her first league start this afternoon, having featured in all cup competitions since her arrival to the club from Tottenham Hotspur. She will just sit in that dynamo in that midfield role, looking to link defence to attack this afternoon. Here's Ellie Mason, who set up the opening goal against West Ham United for Lily Agg to head home on Wednesday evening. Niamh Heron can work it back to Thomas Heron, who continues to impress following her transfer from Sunderland in the summer. Brilliant defender, brilliant awareness, brilliant ball player as well. Here she is on the ball, the Blues number 30. Signed the new contract until 2026, pledging her future to the club in the week. A real boost for Darren Carter and his Blues women's side. Her attempted crossfield ball to Lucy Quinn, just off the mark. Quinn, who returns to the side after being rested against West Ham United. There's Neville. So-hyun back to the edge of the 18-yard box. It'll break for Little John in the middle, the Irish international. Cowan can work it out to the left-hand side for Boy Haloka to have the first run at the edge of the 18-yard box. Good spin in the middle. It's by Alexander. Blues, though, relinquish her possession in their own penalty area. And So-hyun will look to clear her lines and tidy up at the back. Conspires with Lily Agg to do just that. All neat and tidy until that return ball from Lily Agg took a deflection off of Rochelle Littlejohn. Has been hampered with injury this season, the centre midfielder for London City Lionesses. Her only goal this season have come in the FA Cup against Moneyfields to send them through for a tie against Liverpool, the Women's Super League side. That will take place in a fortnight's time as Yuri tight to the right-hand touchline, is neat and tidy with Jamie Finn, and can work it back to Heron. And Thomas back to Niamh Heron, who momentarily has just swapped with Lawley, now lining up at left centre-back. Here is Gemma Lawley, also left out of the side for a rest against West Ham United women. Lawley, whose second goal of the season, proved to be the winner against today's opposition. Last time out in the capital, when Blues took the game by 1-0. Ex-Lioness Lily Agg missing a penalty in stoppage time to make it just a bit more nervy. But Blues ultimately taking the 3 points away from the capital a few months ago. Thomas sweeps out this near side for Ellie Mason. Mason into the captain, Mr. Harrison Murray. Ellie Mason just losing control and being relinquished of possession. Alexander looking to take advantage. Offloads to Carter, who captains the Lioness side this afternoon. Neville back to Broham, and Broham can work with her goalkeeper Hermione Cull to tidy up back there for the Pride. So Blues 0, London City Lionesses 0. Both sides sharing possession in the early exchanges. Neither yet to take the game by the scruff or get a foothold in the contest. Harrison Murray looking to do just that. Her pass towards Quinn is loose. And Neville can work it back to Georgia Broham. 14th appearance of the season for the Lioness centre-back. Did move from Leicester this season after 66 appearances in the Women's Super League across Everton, Manchester City and Birmingham City. Former Blue, Georgia Broham, up against her former club as Lily Agg against her former club. Just looked to set herself up neat and tidy, albeit for the interception from Rochelle Littlejohn, which helped it back to her goalkeeper Hermione Cull. But Lily Agg, who wasted the chance to register against her former club a few months ago, just had half an opening there. And now Sun Hyun. Sun Hyun strikes towards goal. Brilliant! Oh, what a goal from Cho So-hyun. There aren't many better ways than that to mark your first league start with your first Blues goal. And it's one that gives Blues the advantage inside the first 6 minutes here at St Andrews. And the league may have taken a hiatus over the festive period, but it's back to business as usual for this brilliant Blues side in the Women's Championship. Cho Sun-hyun with her first goal for the club, and what a cracker it is. 25 yards, the Pride didn't close her down quick enough, and she punished them to full effect. Magnificent strike from the South Korean. And it's one that puts Blues in the ascendancy inside the first 6 minutes at St Andrews. Blues 1, Lionesses 0. Blues making it look easy as they look to make up lost ground against the leading pack in the Women's Championship. What a strike from Cho Sun-hyun. It's her first goal since joining from Tottenham Hotspur in September. And it was brilliantly taken. Her first league start today given to her by Darren Carter. And she is awarded her manager with the weight of gold and the weight of the opening goal here in what is a crucial encounter with a side struggling at the bottom of the Women's Championship. That's lofted towards Yuri. Yuri down the right-hand side, looking to get the better of Liang Cohen. There's Finn, conspires with Yuri as she works her way infield, just slightly heavy into her fellow compatriot from South Korea, Cho Sun-hyun. Finn. No way past boy Hilorka. Finn again. Blues just looking to tighten their vice-like grip that they've had on the fixture inside the first 10 minutes with the opening goal. Lawley has spotted the run of Ag. Ag's heavy touch allows the intervention to come from Emma McCandy, and she clears their lines away from the throw, but the Lionesses just pegged back following that opening Blues goal. Well, Lionesses already have a torrid record on the road. They've only won one all season, and that came with a 3-0 victory at Blackburn. Their only win in the 7 games that they've played away this season. They already trail inside the opening 10 minutes here at St Andrews. The 16th goal they've conceded in 8 games on the road, an average of 2 goals per game away from their capital city home. And they're looking for just their 3rd win in their last 12 league games. The Lionesses haven't quite hit the heights that they managed last campaign. Yuri, it's nicely done by Blues. Yuri's final ball just overcooked into Cho Sun-hyun's path. McCandy's ball is too high for Carter. Quinn holds off the challenge of Neville and works it back to Niamh Herron. It's all very neat and tidy by Blues, who are just looking to take the initiative and assert their dominance as we tick over 10 minutes. Have largely starved the Lionesses of any sort of meaningful possession as Lawley has found Yuri expertly over the top. Yuri into the penalty area. Just waiting for support. It arrives in the form of Finn. Finn fashions a delivery into the penalty area. That's blocked. The Lionesses just looking to tidy things up back there, but just inviting pressure. Little John can complete the clearance away. She finds Boy Holoka, who a second heavy touch makes it easy for Lawley and Heron to do their jobs back to Lucy Thomas. Thomas expertly picks out Lily Agg in the centre of the park, and Agg equally so to find Quinn on this near side. Quinn looking to stand up Neville. Taken off her toe only as far as Harrison Murray, and now Agg thought about the effort but puts it on the plate for Yuri to strike across goal. Emma McCandy sliding in the 6-yard box, puts it behind for a corner kick. Really intricate on the periphery of the penalty area by Blues. Lily Agg just feinted the shot, instead teed up Yuri to have a go herself. Firmly struck across the face of goal. The intervention from McCandy behind for a corner kick. Blues not letting up on the throttle as we tick up to 12 minutes. They lead by a goal to nil, thanks to Cho Sun-hyun's first of the season. Christy Harrison-Murray standing over this. Low in by Quinn, didn't beat the first defender. Quinn again, looking to tee someone up in the middle. Little break for Mason, just taken off her toe by Little John. And there's Schofield. And Alexander looking to release Carter down this right-hand side. Finn comes across. Carter just thought she was tugged back by the Irish international, and the referee agrees. And out of nowhere, London City Lionesses have a free kick in a dangerous area where they can really provide some ammunition into the 18-yard box. Georgia Brougham, the former Blue, will take this from the near side, the right. Plenty of fluorescent pink shirts in the middle to aim for. Brougham's ball into the penalty area is dealt with by Mason. Harrison Murray in a foot race with Brougham, presents possession straight back to the Lionesses. Neville seeking out Carter. Vital intervention came from Heron on the edge of the 18-yard box, and Yuri can look to Claudia Walker to hold this up for Blues. Does so in the first instance, but it's Lionesses who can turn over possession. And McCandy sweeps out to this near side. Nobody there in a fluorescent pink shirt, and Blues can look to launch a counter-offensive with Quinn. Quinn that's to drop one in over the top towards Agg. Too close to Cull. Brougham. Neville. Schofield. Good anticipation by Ellie Mason. Niamh Heron just caught as she turned away from the debutant Nicole Douglas. Came through the Chelsea youth system, signed here only a few days ago from Washington Spirit across the pond. Making her debut up top alongside Danielle Carter. Looking to learn the tricks of the trade off of the experienced striker. 5 goals to her name this season, the Lioness captain and number 18. And now Mason skips past one challenge. Can't find the ball through, and it retrieves the ball from the London City Lioness manager, Carolina Moraes, who's had quite the glittered career herself, especially as a player. She was the first player to score a hat-trick at a World Cup and was the top scorer in the women's Serie A with Lazio for 11 straight years from 1987 to 1998. Haven't quite found the same success as she did as a player here at London City Lioness. It's a tough task for the Italian manager. As her side concede a free kick just inside the Blues half. It's Blues who lead by a goal to nil. You can see the Irish flags in support in the lower cop. Irish internationals listed across this Blues side. Lucy Quinn, Jamie Finn, just 2 of those. Starting today. Brown works with Cole. Lionesses just struggling to get a foothold in the game at the moment. It's their first real period of any safe possession and retained possession of the ball. It's swept up towards Carter, who leaves Heron on the deck. And Carter finds Alexander now, one-on-one with Ellie Mason. Takes her down the line. Alexander looking to get her shot away. Checks back in field and hits the crossbar. It's way over. Well, it's the first real opening that the London City Lionesses have managed to carve out of this Blues back line. And it fell to Tiana Alexander. Danielle Carter led the charge for the Pride. Left Niamh Heron on the deck in her wake. And teed up Alexander, who had so much to do, did everything right apart from the finish, which she just got under and clipped the top of the crossbar on the way over, and it remains 1-0 to Blues. Alexander still seeking her first goal in Lioness colours. She also spent some time in the USA and in France with Montpellier, a spell in England at Reading before signing for the Lionesses in the summer. Inches away from grabbing her first goal for the Pride. And it was a goal that would have reflected the swinging momentum that this game has seen in the past 5 minutes or so. The Lionesses just threatening to click into gear after being largely second best for the opening quarter of an hour. Quinn, near side the Blues left. Ellie Mason makes the surge forward beyond her. Mason finds Harrison Murray. Blues work the transition well. Heron in the midfield. Outnumbered in the end, but Blues retain possession with Quinn. It may have taken a magnificent goal from Jo Sun-hyun, but the Lioness is just starting to look competitive now and threatening to take the game to Blues and work their way up the gears. They won't make any ground with touches like that as Liliag robs possession from the Pride and charging down Cole. Under pressure from Ag can calmly find McCandy. McCandy's intended target was round the back to Boy Haloka. Haloka putting the pressure on Niamh Heron, who conspires with Lucy Thomas to tidy things up at the back, but Lawley leaving Carter on the deck, and Blues again have worked this intricately out of a tight cul-de-sac. Ag threads it for Yuri, who will get there. Cho Yuri, right-footed ball into the penalty area, is a dangerous one, nodded away at the front post. And Schofield looking to play our way out of danger on the edge of her 18-yard box. Ag wrestling, Walker almost benefiting. Broham needed to communicate with her goalkeeper to avoid any sort of mix-up at the back inside her own 18-yard box. And the Blues' pressure pays off. Mason. Mason infield. Brilliant play by Ellie Mason, who's been so impressive since joining from Lewis in the summer. Has really made that left-back position her own, with some swashbuckling, marauding runs forward and some splendid defending when called upon as well. Heron. Ellie Mason as well has shown that she does have some goals in her locker, only the one for Blues, but she did finish the top goal scorer of the charts for Lewis last season with 9 goals to her name in their championship campaign. This season, though, has got a handful of assists on her record, including the one for Lily Agg on Wednesday, as Blues beat West Ham United by 2-1, but unfortunately bowed out the Conti Cup in the group stage. They've worked this free kick well to Yuri. Space for the cross, well held by Hermione Cole. Cho Yuri, who's just enjoying a good spell in the team at the moment. This is her first league start, but has made some really impressive cameos off the bench and has been really impressive from starting in the cup competitions as well, since joining from Hyundai Steel Red Angels before Christmas. Did score her first goal for Blues, what we thought was the winner against MK Dons, before Ivana Fuso added a second deep into stoppage time against the side from Buckinghamshire. But it was the goal that really confirmed Blues booking their place in the next round of the Cup, which they went on and disposed of Burnley to set up a tie with Leicester in the 5th round, which we played in 2 weeks' time. So we look forward to that one as Blues continue their rich vein of form in both the league and FA Cup competition. Today, though, the objective with a goal advantage thanks to this woman, Cho Sun-hyun. The objective is to just gain some ground on that leading pack in the Women's Championship, led by Sunderland, who top the table. Blues, of course, having a handful of games in hand too, in fact, thanks to their cup runs, while Sunderland did the business here in the Women's Championship. A win here for Blues would take them 2 points within table-topping Sunderland, with a game in hand as the Lionesses look to strike back. It's in towards Carter, who spins in the penalty area. Heroic block by Ellie Mason, who stuck to her task so well. Just as Danielle Carter looked to spin away from the left-back, she was not letting her escape her grasp. Brilliant work on the left-hand side of the penalty area by Douglas. Carter with the awareness to spin. Ellie Mason with the heroics at the expense of a corner kick. 2 good moments now for London City Lionesses have gone begging. One saw Alexander clip the top of the bar, the second denied by some splendid defending from Ellie Mason. In comes that resultant corner kick. And boy, Halaka was attacking it. Gemma Lawley heads away momentarily. And there's Agg. And Christy Harrison-Murray just receives a blow to the head and stays down on the deck. Bravely in, the ex-Scottish international, now coach. But brilliant defending from Ellie Mason, the build-up to that corner kick. Made up the ground well as Danielle Carter, who's proven her goal-scoring prowess time after time and season after season, pulled the trigger. Ellie Mason managed to get her body in the way. And that means it's still Blues 1, London City Lionesses 0 here at St Andrews. Darren Carter just getting some messages across to Lily Agg and Ellie Mason, as Blues have just, I'm sure in his opinion, taken their foot off the gas in the past 10 minutes or so and invited the Lionesses to inflict some pressure upon them, and they've had two decent opportunities to pull themselves level. Alexander Cliff on the top of the crossbar, and Danielle Carter seeing her shot from close encounters well blocked by Ellie Mason. Darren Carter, I'm sure, will want to see Blues re-establish that dominance that they started the game with, as we're 20 minutes away from the break. A trip to Watford next week for Blues, the team that the Lionesses last faced away from home and staged an impressive comeback. They were 3-1 down. They came back to draw 3-3 to pick up what was only their 5th point on the road this season. And then, yes, that's FA Cup showdown in the 5th round with Leicester City midday kickoff on the 10th of February in 2 weeks' time. Harrison Murray as Blues once again rob Lionesses of possession. Mason caught late and heavily by Alexander as she turned away from the winger. Heron back to Thomas, who was denied a 6th clean sheet of the season against West Ham United, with that late goal from the WSL team. Proved to be a consolation in the end as Blues came out 2-1 victors. The victory bittersweet though, as they did crash out of the Women's Conti Cup. No problems of that ilk for the Lionesses, who topped their group and into the quarterfinals for the first time in their brief 5-year history, of course, born out of the ashes of the Millwall Lionesses. Chose to separate from Millwall Football Club and take up the mantle on their own. And since then, in 2019, have been seeking a route into the Women's Super League. That's exactly why they brought in the Italian manager, Carolina Moraes, with so much pedigree to her names. He's also managed the Italian and Canadian national teams. And again, just another clash of heads brings a brief stoppage to play. Gemma Lawley, the Blues body involved in that particular collision. Blues today then looking for a club record equaling 7 consecutive league wins. Really is a statement to the Women's Championship after what was self-admittedly from Darren Carter and his players a poor start, a sluggish start to the league campaign this season after their heights of last campaign, just being pipped to the Women's Championship title by Bristol City. But a 0-0 draw with High Flyer Sunderland in October really turned things round for Blues as they started to really find a rich vein of form that they've continued over the festive period. Only 1 defeat in all competitions in the last 4 months. That came versus Charlton in that Conti Cup. In fact, their 2 defeats in the last 13 games have come in the Conti Cup. And 9 wins from the last 10 in all competitions. As I said, after a sluggish start, it's a really impressive turnaround. the march to the Women's Super League well and truly on as we begin the second half of the campaign. Little John holds off Ag. You can find Brougham, the former Blue Nose. Neville conspires with Schofield to find Alexander on his near side. The ball was intended for Douglas. That's seen to safety by Lawley, just as the Lionesses were looking to get up to speed down the right-hand side. Quinn turns away from Alexander. Glides in field before offloading to Harrison Murray. Harrison Murray, ice in her veins as always. So calm, so composed. Just makes it look so easy in midfield. And she's got about 3 players breathing down her neck. As Yuri skips in field, looks to find Ag. That's picked up by a sliding McCandy. And the Lionesses can look to counter-attack. By Haloka. Finds Carter surging through down the left-hand side into the penalty area she goes. Cuts in field, support arriving in the centre. In comes the cross, it's towards Douglas. And then Carter on the volley. Didn't get a hold of it and drags it well wide of Lucy Thomas's right-hand post. But you can just see the threat that the Lionesses pose in the counter-attack when the Pride really pounce into action and pick up on the breakdown in the Blues attack. It's something I'm sure Darren Carter will look to address at half-time. 1 or 2 times now that the pace of Alexander and Boy Haloka are on the counter-attack have caused some problems for Blues. Neville moves the flight of the ball well and is under it for the Lionesses. And Schofield can work with Cole, her goalkeeper. Neville driving in field for the Pride, who have work to do here if they want to pick up and improve their away form, which has been torrid this season. And they've been second best so far here at St Andrews. They've had glimpses, they've shut the crossbar and forced a brilliant block from Ellie Mason. So far though, Blues keeping the Pride at bay. Well, the Lionesses might have won their last 2 visits here rather convincingly, but you can really see the gap in class this season especially. 11 points separates these two before kick-off, both after 12 games due to their FA Cup and Conti Cup campaigns. And on the pitch you can see just the golfing confidence, the golfing class is there for all to see. London City Lionesses have conjured 2 opportunities, both coming on the counter-attack after Blues' dominance, and they just can't seem to put passages of play constructively together at the moment. The Lionesses, Blues picking them off at every opportunity as they look to go forward. Douglas, though, escapes the clutches of So-Hyun. And McCandy, brilliant ball to find Boy Haloka. Haloka, left-footed ball. Carter can bring it down in the 18-yard box. She looks to set up Schofield. Heavy touch allows Finn to clear. But certainly the Lionesses, as you can see there, look to get the ball wide to those 2 flashpoints through Alexander and Boy Haloka, certainly the 2 most creative players in this Lioness side. And Danielle Carter, of course, threatening as ever as the target in the centre. Little John turns away from Ag and rides the challenge of the ex-Lioness. Bro, the former Blue. Neville rolls into the midfield. Schofield does manage to gather. There's Douglas, she's brought down, nothing doing. There's neat footwork from Buildup. She skips past a multitude of challenges and works her way in field. There's Schofield to pick up. And the Lionesses, it's been a common theme for them so far in the opening 35 minutes. Just camped in their own half, can't find any sort of easy avenues forwards. And you can see the frustrations from the manager. Carolina Moraes. Carter. Calls for hands against Danielle Carter. She pleads her innocence, as what was the velocity on the ball from Lucy Quinn's touch. But the free kick will go Blues' way, and 10 minutes to go until the end of this first half. Blues leading by a goal to nil. Have a free kick in a threatening position if they can work this well. Harrison Murray down the left-hand side for Quinn, who's got a bag full of assists to her name already this season. Looks to go the long way round Buildup. She's left her for dead. Fashions a ball across. Walker's first touch was heavy, and that allows the Pride to clear their lines. But Lucy Quinn just carving apart the Lioness back line down the left-hand side. Claudia Walker unable to benefit in the middle. So Hyun, whose first goal in blue separates these two. And what a scorcher it was. A real pile driver from about 25 yards, which beat Hermione Cull. And not many better ways to score your first goal for a new club. Lioness is just gaining some yards down the left-hand side, and Carter's spotted an opening here. Heron comes across. Carter goes, Douglas even goes down. Nothing doing by the referee, muted appeals from the Lionesses. It did look like Heron put in a nice clean challenge and got all ball. Thomas Lawley, pace of the game just wilted slightly in the past 5 minutes or so. Lucy Thomas looking to ramp it back up with a pinpoint ball to find Finn, who can surge down the right-hand side for Blues. Alexander was there for company. Alexander forces the corner kick. Quinn from the far side. Honestly, Lionesses did concede from a corner in their last league game against Crystal Palace, and Gemma Lawley was closest to that delivery from Quinn. Quinn again on the left foot. Decent delivery. The header is by Ag, back off the crossbar, and Cole produces the save over the top from Ellie Mason. A brilliant ball in by Lucy Quinn at the second attempt. Ag with the initial effort. Ricochet back off the crossbar. Mason was there to follow in, denied by Hermione Cole. Blues, though, in the hunt for a second against the Pride. Look at this ball from Quinn. Real quality, right into that corridor of uncertainty. Ag with the initial header. Mason followed up. Cole in the way. Another decent delivery. And again, Hermione Cole produces the catch, this time inside a 6-yard box. Big chance for Blues to make it 2 before the break. So the crossbar hit at both ends. Neat and tidy challenge by Ag. Jo Sun-hyun can surge forward. Walker can't quite find Yuri, who's just momentarily switched with Lucy Quinn to take up the mantle on this near side, the Blues left. Walker looks to turn and surge and bulldoze her way through and tees up Lily Ag. Lily Ag just losing her footing on the edge of the 18-yard box, and the ball harmlessly rolling through to Hermione Cole. But Claudia Walker showed great strength, great control just to fend off a multitude of challenges. Lily Ag unable to benefit. Carter was the intended target. Heron in the way, Lawley. Yuri under pressure from Neville. Lawley aims towards that far side. Finn now looking to link up with Lucy Quinn. Quinn, lovely footwork, can't find Ag. Schofield, but certainly Blues turning up the temperature at the end of this first half. You can hear Darren Carter's shouts of encouragement, just urging Blues to get up and really put the pressure on this Pride back line, not giving them a second to breathe. And there's the fruit of their labour, just relinquishing possession, and can enjoy it safely on their own back line as they look to see out this first half. The first half where they have had to ride their luck at times. Alexander striking the crossbar and Eddie Mason putting in a courageous block on Danielle Carter, but it's Jo Sun-hyun's first goal in blue, a magnificent strike from 25 yards that sees Blues lead as we approach the break. There's Yuri, just creeping in and sneaking in ahead of Neville. And it's Yuri who gets the decision from the throw-in. Lovely take by Walker, and she can surge into the penalty area. Looks to offload to Yuri, just had to check her run in fear of being offside, and Walker had done all the hard work. Just thought she might wrap her foot around it and aim for that far corner. Instead looked to find Yuri, who I don't think was expecting the pass into her, and the attack breaks down for Blues. Cole, 30 seconds till we see how much the referee wants to add on at the end of this first half. With Finn just showing too much of that to the Lionesses. And Alexander can surge forward. She's got Carter making the run beyond her. Heron's tracked her the whole way, but Carter's got the better of her. It's Danielle Carter! Fires into the side netting via a deflection. Another big chance for the Lionesses. Another big block at the back for Blues. Well, it was Alexander this time leading the charge over the halfway line. Danielle Carter had made an intelligent run down the left-hand side of the box. Heron was with her for company, but Carter disposed of the Blues centre-back. But there were just too many bodies in the way. And between them, Blues managed to block the effort at the expense of a corner kick at the end of the first half, which will have 4 additional minutes. It's a decent delivery. Douglas was rising, it's over her head. Schofield back into the 6-yard box. Thomas bravely in with Douglas breathing down her neck. Lawley. There's Finn. Heron. Lawley surging forward inside her own half, seeking out Walker, who'd made the burst down the flank. And Candy in the way, can control and find Little John in the midfield. And there's Brougham. And the ball finds its way to Ellie Mason. There's Finn. Finn's ball across. Easy pickings for Hermione Cole, but again, really well worked by Blues down the right-hand side. Finn, though, needs to bust the gut to get back. Yuri is covering her at right back for the moment. But Christy Harrison-Murray doesn't let Boy Haloka get any further. And Brougham equally so in on Lucy Quinn. So obviously Blues leading by a goal to nil here towards the end of the first half. Crystal Palace and Charlton, two of those teams in that leading pack with Blues. Goalless between them. So if that remains the same, a good result for Blues, who are looking to make up ground with their games in hand behind them. Lionesses have worked this well, but it's well recognised by Lawley, and the deflection back off Schofield means there's a Blues throw-in right in front of the Lioness dugout. Heron. Blues just looking to see the half out now without any further scrapes. Thomas. And there is the half-time whistle. Job done as far as 45 minutes are concerned for Blues. Cho Sun-Yun's first goal in blue gives us the advantage heading in to half-time, and what a goal it was. Real thunderbolt from 25 yards, which beat Hermione Cole all ends up. But the first half didn't transpire without a few scares from the Lionesses. Alexander and Boy Haloka certainly threatening from those wide positions. Alexander scraping the top of the crossbar, and Danielle Carter had two decent opportunities, one of them hitting the side netting, the other denied by a courageous Ellie Mason block. And down the other end, Lily Agg almost double Blues lead, hitting the crossbar herself before Ellie Mason was denied by Hermione Cole with the follow-up. So at the break, it's job done in terms of Blues striding to keep pace with the leading pack in the Women's Championship. They lead by a goal to nil with Tom Wagner looking on. So Blues with a professional performance in that first half into the Half-time break with a clean sheet and are in front thanks to this scorcher. Cho So-hyun with her first goal in blue, and what a goal it was. Beating Hermione Cole, all ends up. The Lionesses just didn't close the South Korean down, and she unleashed a venomous drive. Her fellow compatriot, Cho Yuri, the first to congratulate her. And that's the goal that separates the two sides, but Blues certainly were in the hunt in that opening 20 minutes while they utterly dominated proceedings. Cho Yuri herself coming close as she fired across the face of goal, denied by a neat sliding challenge by Emma Mukandi. But they weren't without some scares in that first half. The first coming from Tiara Alexander as she stepped in field of Ellie Mason. Left-footed shot. You can just see just trying to bend into that far corner. Just got under it and sailed over the bar thanks to a scrape off the top of the crossbar. But that was the first real danger sign for Blues. And then Douglas making tracks down the left-hand side of the penalty area. Did all the hard work and looked to tee up Danielle Carter in the middle. Looked to escape the clutches of Ellie Mason, but the Blues left back with a courageous block inside the 6-yard box to retain Blues' 1-0 lead at a key moment in the game, just when the Lionesses were getting ahead of speed. And then 5 minutes before the half-time break, Blues down the other end, clipping the crossbar themselves. This time Quinn with a quality delivery, a peach of a cross from the Irish international. Ag pulled away from her marker but was denied by the crossbar, and then Ellie Mason, seen her effort, tipped over by Hermione Cole. But that's how it remains heading into the break. 1-0 to Blues as they look to make it 7 consecutive wins in the Women's Championship and keep pace with a leading pack in the quest for the Women's Super League. The second half is next. Well, I'm sure Tom Wagner would have been very impressed with what he saw from that first half performance from Darren Carter's side. I'm sure he'll be even more impressed if they can follow up this second period with an equally impressive performance and conclude what would be a club record equaling 7 consecutive league victories in the Women's Championship to really keep pace and put the pressure on that top pack in the division. Message at half-time, I'm sure, from the gaffer would have been, same again, please, ladies. No changes at half-time from either side. Now we can get back underway here at St Andrews. Chairman of the board, Tom Wagner, watching on. His first sighting of the women's team in the flesh. I'm sure he'll be mightily impressed with what Darren Carter is doing here at Birmingham City in the quest back to the Women's Super League. Cho So-hyun's 25-yard screamer, giving us the lead in the first half. As Cowan commits the foul on Jamie Finn. So the lineups remain the same. Thomas in goal for Blues. Finn, Lawley, Heron and Mason at the back. Ag, Harrison Murray and the goal scorer Cho Sun-hyun in midfield, with Cho Yuri down the right as he charges down with Candy, Walker and Lucy Quinn on the left. As for the Lionesses, Hermione Cull in goal, who really could do nothing about that pile driver from Cho Sun-hyun for the goal that separates the two sides. The back four is made up by Neville, Broome, McCandy and Cohen at left back. Little John and Schofield will survey in front of them again. Nicole Douglas and Danielle Carter are flanked by Tiana Alexander and Shani Boy Haloka. Alexander hitting the crossbar and Danielle Carter, of course, forcing the best out of Ellie Mason at the back, the closest that the Lionesses came in that first period to getting on the score sheet. Only the 9 goals in their 8 trips away from home so far this season for the Lionesses. Goals have been hard to come by for them away from the capital. There's Heron under pressure from Nicole Douglas, the debutante for London City Lionesses. And Quinn can't control the lofted ball down to her. Remember, reinforcements on the bench for Blues, certainly in offensive capacity. Smith, Fuso, Dungate, and of course the return of Bex Holloway, who's on the bench for the first time since returning to Blues from the United States, as Lily Agg has just got a problem at the start of this second half as she lofts the ball out of play. The referee has called for the medical staff to come onto the field. And just as I rattle through the substitutes, well, Fuso, Holloway herself might be a suitable change if Ag can't continue. As Darren Carter, for the first time this afternoon, might have to look to his bench. It was rather innocuous that Lily Ag went down. Of course, playing a former club today, a second meeting with the Lionesses since she left the Pride for Blues in the summer. Looks like it might be a muscle injury for Lily Ag. And Ivana Fuso is the nominated substitute to replace her. So Fuso, who looked like she was going to be given a rest for the majority of today, is called into action earlier than intended by Darren Carter to replace former Lioness Lily Ag. Fuso, 3 goals to her name this season, 2 in the league, 1 in the FA Cup to really seal things up against MK Dons. Brings a real flair and zip and energy to the midfield. the Brazilian signed from Manchester United in September. She's on for Liliag. Haloka does what she can to keep the ball in play, but may have presented possession straight back to Blues, and Schofield can't savour the situation as she can only run out of play. Christy Harrison-Murray and Ivana Fuso now just in conversation as to the renewed tactics with the Brazilians' introduction. Ivana Fuso just portraying what Darren Carter has told her, and Carter has relinquished possession from Mason, and Carter surging forward. Mason just gets a toe in, and that carries the ball back to Lucy Thomas. Walker, heavy touch, allows McCandy to step in, but she's presented the ball to Yuri. Yuri invites the challenge from Little John. And it'll be a throw into the Lionesses down their left-hand side, which Cohen will take. Cohen, incidentally, just her third appearance of the season, her first start for the Lionesses. That left back, and Cho Yuri has certainly given her a few runs for her money in that first half. There's the goal scorer, So Hyun, seeking out Walker. Her first touch is heavy, and Carl under pressure from Yuri, who almost got there in on Carl, who was confident in her play towards the former Blue, Broham. And then Yuri just late in on McCandy. McCandy, who was sent off. These two do have history in the reverse fixture. McCandy sent off for lashing out at Cho Yuri in the capital a few months ago. That was in stoppage time when the Lionesses were throwing caution to the wind. But maybe first bit of that rivalry just rehashing at the start of the second half. We'll keep a close eye on that as McCandy just walks away from the altercation with a slight limp as she sends the ball forward, seeking out Haluka. McCandy, who is vastly experienced, 7 years at Arsenal, has won the WSL, 2 FA Cups and 3 League Cups with her time at the Gunners. But it's Blues who are putting the pressure on the Lionesses on the back again. Walker offloads to Quinn, who will dig out a cross. That's deflected behind. Blues corner kick. Blues starting the second half, how they finished the first, well on top. Well, Blues have scored 7 goals from set pieces. Haven't scored from a set-piece situation in 5 games, though. But as I say, 7 of their 23 goal tally this season, which is bettered only by Palace and Southampton, have come from dead ball situations. And London City Lionesses did concede from a corner kick in their 2-0 defeat to Crystal Palace last time out in the Championship. It's Quinn into the penalty area. More up than out by the Lionesses. Yuri looks to turn away from Haloka. And Yuri has to do this all herself, charging towards the byline. Digs out across, that's blocked. She's crowded out by pink shirts, the South Korean. In the end, it's one too many as she relinquishes possession, but it's picked up by So-hyun. And Fuso has made the dart down the right flank, and Fuso looks to check in field of McCandy. Harrison-Murray just blocked slightly by the referee. And Blues recycle. So So-hyun, Quinn, and Heron under pressure from Schofield. So-hyun into Lawley, who sensibly aims back to Lucy Thomas, who hasn't had a great deal to do, in all honesty, in the opening 53 minutes up until this point. Had her job done for her on the early occasion from Ellie Mason. He hasn't really had a save to make as of yet from the Lionesses. Mason might have just strayed offside. In fact, she has. The linesman's flag up on this near side. Deny Blues gaining any yards down the left flank. So they lead by a goal to nil. Cho So-hyun's first of the season. A scorcher from 25 yards after 6 minutes. The only goal that separates the two sides. Incidentally, Blues, the winner in the capital the last time these two faced each other, did come from Gemma Lawley. That was after 4 minutes, and the remaining 86 minutes was goalless. It proved to be the winner. Blues again striking early on. And again, keeping a clean sheet. What would be their first here at St Andrews this season. Lionesses so far haven't breached St Andrews. Walker rides the challenge of Little John. And there's Finn, picks out Quinn. Quinn's ball is loose, picked up by the Lionesses. And they can neatly work it out of midfield. Boy Halorka, delicate chip in towards Carter. Heron did enough, and Lucy Thomas was brave. And between them, they just exchange a rather relieved look. Danielle Carter causing all sorts of problems at the back. Expertly chipped into her path by Boy Halorka. But Lucy Thomas was brave. And Niamh Heron defended splendidly. Lawley expertly finds Walker, who just touched it down towards Yuri. Slightly behind the South Korean, but Blues will come again. Fired out towards Quinn, who does her best to keep the ball in play, but can only present possession to Neville. Her pass picked up by So Hyun for Blues. Fuso charges away from Little John and can surge up the field for Birmingham City. She plays it through to Walker, who's comfortably offside. Offside by about 2 or 3 yards, Claudia Walker there. Good line by the Lionesses, good surge by Ivana Fuso, and that's what the Brazilian brings you in the midfield. Can pick the ball up, turn on the pace, leave a player in her wake and pick out a pass, but that time Walker just timing her run too late. Cowan around the corner to Douglas, who's peeled away to the left-hand side here. Niamh Heron for company. Getting past her is easier said than done. Heron makes the intervention at the expense of a corner kick. The Lionesses first of the second half as they seek a route back into proceedings. A fixture where so far they've been second best to Darren Carter's sensational Blues side. So corner kick from this near side, the Lionesses left. It's worked short and flicked towards goal. Really nonchalant effort from Cowan, who just peeled away from the pack in the penalty area. Places her effort wide, but it was a well-worked corner kick by the Pride. Impish finish, didn't hit the target. Heron feints one way, goes the other. The clearance is deflected, it falls for Quinn, who looks to steer it round the corner for Walker. Picked up though by Broham. Yuri, heavy touch, invites the challenge from Cowan, and just in trying to retrieve the situation, Yuri has brought down the left back. Broham lost into the penalty area. It's Boy Halorka who wins the flick on, but bread and butter stuff for Lucy Thomas in her 6-yard box. It remains 1-0 to Blues here at St Andrews. Palace and Charlton still goalless above Blues. So that means this win, if Blues can see it out, will take them up into 4th, leapfrogging Palace. As Quinn surging forward, Blues look to double their advantage. Quinn can't pick out Yuri. Cohen with the intervention, but Blues have won it back high up the field. Yuri stabs it through to Fuso. Walker's in the middle, and Fuso, recognising the deflection, lets the ball roll for a corner kick. Southampton are also part of that leading pack, are winning 1-0 against Sheffield United, so they jump up to second. But Blues, of course, have a game in hand over Charlton, Southampton and Sunderland above them, and if they can grab all 3 points here this afternoon, they move within 2 points of table toppers Sunderland with a game in hand over the Black Cats. Quinn with a miss hit, miscue, just slicing a corner kick behind. McCandy. Cowan. Here's Neville down the right-hand side as Lionesses look to forge out a foothold in the game. Graham's intervention. Walker. Lawley at the back for Blues. You feel like another goal for Darren Carter's side would just be the buffer they need to see out the final half an hour. Lionesses haven't really created much, but in the first half did pose a threat on the counter-attack. Haven't been able to really threaten Lucy Thomas's goal, apart from Carter forcing the issue and forcing Lucy Thomas to be brave at her feet about 5 minutes ago. Quinn. Now Heron edge of the penalty area. And now Mason, bit of green grass to run into, but Halorka is making ground up on the Blues left back. Yuri looks for a return ball for the swashbuckling Mason. And a play for a throw-in. And the first roll of the dice from Carolina. Moraes is to throw on Maddie Wild for Tiaya Alexander, I should say. Alexander did make an impact in that first half, striking the crossbar, coming closest for London City Lionesses. She makes way, and Gemma Lawley as well, who's played an awful lot of football in the first half of the season. She will make way for Martha Harris, who added to her Blues tally with her second of the season, her third goal in blue, only the fourth goal of her entire career in midweek against West Ham United. A wonderfully taken volley to add to her screamer collection, and her first involvement will be to take this throw in as Ellie Mason just shifts across to centre-back to fill in for the departed Gemma Lawley. Martha Harris, of course, on Blues' surge for the title of the Women's Championship, has experience of winning this division with Manchester United in 2019, and of course winning the big one, the Super League, with Liverpool in 2014 as well, as Walker turns her marker and fashions a low cross to the front post. That's easily gathered by Hermione Cull. Cohen emerges with it down the left-hand side. So Yun's intervention just halts her in her path. Well, it was assumed the ball had left the field of play. Everyone stopped apart from Halorka, who looked to play on, but the referee's whistle now does award Blues with the throw-in. Finn. Carter rising ahead above Heron. Lionesses is convinced that it was their ball. Morace, the Pride manager, just thinking that one or two decisions aren't going her side's way. The scoreline certainly isn't. Blues leading by a goal to nil. A lead that they've now held for around 58 minutes in the game. Martha Harris under pressure from the substitute Wild. Works it back to Mason. There's Cho So-hyun. Harris again conspiring with Ellie Mason. Mason on the ball forward from centre-back. Very versatile player, Ellie Mason. Can just shift from left-back to centre-back, even right-back as well throughout her career. Anywhere across the back line. She's asked to play, she'll put in the shift. Cowan down the line to Halorka. Halorka squeezing it down the left-hand side for Douglas, and Halorka's continued her run and takes the mantle off of Douglas. It's Halorka striking from distance. It took a good save from Thomas. It'll come for Wild, the substitute. Looks to tee up Carter in the middle. Vital challenge back there by Mason, and Blues survive and now can look to mount a counter-attack with Cho Yuri turning on the afterburners down the left-hand side. Yuri charging forward, looks to fashion the ball through to Walker, but that's got too much on it and will go behind for a goal kick. But the referee brings it back for a foul on Yuri as she was just tugged back as he surged forward. Well, helter-skelter moments there in the game. Brilliant burst down the left-hand side. Douglas and Halorka conspiring to make good progress down the left. Halorka with a stinging effort, stinging the palms of Lucy Thomas as she produced a save to her left-hand side. Wild couldn't take advantage, and then Blues down the other end, led by Cho Yuri, and she was pulled back by Little John in her attempts to get goal side. Blues have worked this short. They did work a really well-executed free kick against West Ham United, culminating in Martha Harris's finish, and she's taken a back seat for this one as she links up with Cho So-hyun. Yuri, Heron in uncharted territory down the right-hand side from centre-back. And Heron works well to win a throw-in just shy of the corner flag on the right-hand side. Blues leading by a goal to nil as we approach the final 20 minutes here at St Andrews. 3 valuable points which just keep Sunderland within arm's length, with Blues having a game in hand and puts them well and truly in pole position in terms of the Women's Championship rankings. Yuri under pressure from Halorka. Works it back out to Finn. Yuri just sold wide by the return ball from the Irish international. And Wild prods it through to Schofield. This is a good break by Lionesses. Schofield into space. Carter is fast, but not that quick. And Mason comfortably works it back to Thomas. Well, what an opportunity for London City Lionesses. The pitch really opened up for the Pride there. But Schofield with a rather rambunctious ball into Carter, which went astray and easily picked up by Blues at the back. Quinn knocked to the ground. Referee lets play continue, and also throw into the Lionesses. Walker flicks through, but throughout the whole 70 minutes or so, Claudia Walker has looked slightly isolated up there, feeding on scraps. Has had a tough shift so far as the sole striker for Blues, as Heron, seized upon by two Lionesses, clears her lines on this near side. Cowan looks for Carter, across comes Heron, recognising the danger. It comes for the left back. Good skill by Boy Halorka. Brohan. McCandy, first time ball through, looking for Boy Halorka, the winger. He's well tidied up by Jemmy Finn, and via the deflection, Blues will have a throw-in in their right back position, leading by a goal to nil here at St Andrews. Chairman of the board, Tom Wagner, looking on. Did introduce himself to the players in the changing room pre-match. The chairman of the Birmingham City Board. Of course, in the week where Knight said introduced the largest sponsorship package in Birmingham City's history, really revolutionising the city of Birmingham with the club at the heart of it. And things are really, really looking up if you're a Blue Nose or associated with this football club. Boy Halorka looking to dink one in behind the Blues back line, seen to by Ellie Mason. Harrison Murray, and Ellie Mason can look to clear away, but picked up by Boy Halorka. Blues unable to clear their lines. Boy Halorka into the penalty area. Lucy Thomas dictating her box. But obviously with the women's team on the quest back to the Women's Super League, and looking amongst the favourites to do just that. And obviously the men's team, buoyed by the arrival of Tony Mowbray, getting him right back on track. Under 21 and under 23 groups as well, impressing in the youth leagues all over Birmingham City. It's an aspirational time, full of optimism. Blues women, though, looking to get the job done here at St Andrews this afternoon. Brohan, picked up by Harris. Cho So-hyun, lovely skill to turn away from Little John. And there's Fuso seeking out Yuri. Intervention is by Cowan. And the Lionesses, just as the minutes tick by, are slowly growing in confidence and slowly applying the pressure. Just threatening to click up the gears. Little John seeking out Wild. Harris in the way. Fuso. Blues looking to catch the pride on the counter-attack. Fuso picks up and can surge forward, looks at trade passes with Walker, and Fuso opens up for Yuri. It's Cho Yuri on goal. Big moment this in the game for Blues. She hits the side netting. Lucy Quinn was screaming for it in the middle if Cho Yuri could pick her head up, but she went for glory and sliced her effort wide into the side netting. Big moment in the game for Blues to really give the Lionesses a mountain to climb in the fixture. Cowan this time looking to go down the other end. Boy Halorka under pressure from Finn, and while the deflection from the winger, Finn wins the throw-in. Big chance for Cho Yuri to register her first league goal for Blues. Did strike in the Adobe FA Cup against MK Dons. Brilliant work by Fuso and Walker in the midfield. Fuso made the burst down the right, did everything correctly. Just rushed to finish slightly and sliced across it and missed the target. Big moment in the game, though, with Blues just living slightly dangerously in the Lionesses, gaining confidence heading into the final 15 minutes. That really would have taken the wind out of the Pride sails. Heads would have started dropping. And you feel if Blues can get 2 here, you can go on and get 3 or 4. You just feel like the Lionesses' confidence is coming from the fact that they're only 1-0 down. Fuso looking to double that. Harrison Murray, and now Walker. Walker from distance took a deflection off of McCandy. The angle was tight. Would have taken a hell of a brilliant effort to beat Cole from there. McCandy. Plays Carter short. She thought that she was caught by Cho So-hyun. Referee disagrees, but the Lionesses have won the ball back nonetheless. And you just feel that there's a bit of needle creeping in the final 15 minutes. As with the Lionesses' desperation to take something from the contest, they feel they just about from the skin of their teeth are still in it. And they've absorbed Blues pressure and now looking to rally in the final 15 minutes. Wild, forced wide and offside. And Libby Smith is, well, she was ready to go, but has just been told to put her bib back on and go and carry out some final stretches by Darren Carter. Doesn't want to make that change just yet. Quinn flicks on. Walker gathers into her midriff under pressure from Broham. And Cowan found neatly by Broham. Boy Halorka, who's certainly been the threat in this second period for the Lionesses. Just looking to creep in from this left-hand side. Seeking out Cohen. Yuri in the way. Lofted ball, easy enough for Lucy Thomas. Thomas rolls it out to Mason. Mason can surge up to the halfway line. Harrison Murray. Cho So-hyun. Going to throw it through towards Walker. Oh, Lionesses, it's rather bumptious, but they managed to see the ball to safety. Fuso sweeps out to this near side for Yuri. Finn with the swashbuckling run from fullback. Fashions a ball into the middle. Easy pickings for Hermione Cole. And still we wait for Libby Smith, who's just having a conversation with the fourth official now and trying to keep warm. And she will be the imminent change for Blues. Carter just a bit too overzealous with Douglas in on Heron, but it was Lionesses who win the free kick. Well, Cho Yuri on a full league debut, her first league start for Blues. Inches away from her first league goal for Blues. Struck the side netting, squandering an opportunity to put Blues well and truly in the driving seat late in the second half. But really caused a few problems for Cowan and McCandy down that left-hand side and that right-hand side even for Blues. And she's replaced by Libby Smith. 4 goals to her name this season. As it's lofted into a dangerous area by the Lionesses, and it was a pink shirt that got there, but not on target to trouble Lucy Thomas. Douglas it was who rose above a sea of blue. Couldn't find the target with the header. Candy. Wild. The Lionesses just baring their teeth as we head into the final 10 minutes. Hooked away by Blues. And Harris can complete the clearance. Libby Smith, freshly introduced, will give chase to McCandy. She offload to Broham. Broham hoists upfield, seen to by Mason. Quinn in field to Cho So Hyun. Walker peeled out to the right-hand side. It's got Fuso and Smith up in support. Fuso charges in field. Fuso with the effort. Easy enough for Hermione Cull. A real conviction in the shot from Ivana Fuso. As Cho So Hyun just takes a seat on the pitch, but the Lionesses don't care. They'll play on. It's their prerogative too, as Douglas surges forward. Douglas pulls the trigger. Mason with the block. Blues at the back are a player down. Lionesses trying to take advantage. It's Schofield across the face of goal. Harmlessly behind for a Blues goal kick, and now Cho So Hyun can receive some treatment. So a triple change for the Lionesses, throwing caution to the wind now. Leanne Cohen comes across. So Schofield goes off. She's replaced by Israelia Groves. Lucy Fitzgerald will replace Chantel Boy-Halorka. And Paige Culver will replace Leanne Cohen at left back. So Carolina Moraes throwing caution to the wind. 3 throws the dice all at once. A triplet of substitutions, looking to swing the pendulum into the Lionesses' favour and take something on the road where they've enjoyed so little joy so far in the season. The Lionesses away from home. But they need to go for it now as Fitzgerald joins Carter and Douglas up top. Meanwhile, down the other end, So So Hyun surging forward towards the byline. Shows great strength to hold off Wild and find Harris. Harris likewise, and retains possession with Mason. Harrison Murray. And now Heron over the halfway line. Sweeps it to this near side for Finn. Finn up the line for Walker. First task is to beat Culver, the fresh substitute, and she's done that and wins a free kick from the newly introduced left back. Claudia Walker too strong and too quick for Paige Culver, the Canadian international. And Blues have a chance from a dead ball situation to really put themselves in the driving seat as we head into the final 5 minutes. Quinn, right-footed delivery, straight into the hands of Cull. And Cull immediately looks to set Lucy Fitzgerald away. Harris aware back there. And Culver can shepherd out of play in the face of Christy Harrison-Murray. Quinn. McCandy taking a risk, as was Brohan with her goalkeeper Cull. 5 minutes to go. Lionesses desperate to find a response. Infield it goes by Wild. Hooked up and away by Quinn. And this will stay in play. Brohan needs to deal with it under pressure from Smith. Finds Cull inside her box. McCandy surging forward for the Pride. Little John touches away from Harrison-Murray, could surge over the halfway line and looks to pick out Fitzgerald. Lucy Thomas was aware. Good starting position by the Blues goalkeeper. Blues, though, just living dangerously as Lionesses rallying into the final 4 minutes. Quinn hooks away. Smith will give chase. Brohan safety first. Quinn, industrious down the left-hand side. No reward, will be a goal kick. Thomas's kick only finds Little John, and McCandy closed down by Walker. Cho So-hyun. It's neatly done until she gives the ball straight to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald in field towards Douglas. Carter. And Groves, big shouts for hands as the shot came in. Nothing doing by the referee. Away by Harrison-Murray. Smith battling with Culver. Culver forced to clear her lines. Finn hooks up towards Quinn, who can bring it under her spell, but shows too much of it to McCandy. Brohan. There's Fitzgerald, who came through the London City Lionesses youth system and has gone on to make 95 Women's Championship appearances for the Lionesses. Walker cannons off of Culver out for a throw-in. Heron in the way as the ball was raked upfield. And play pulled back for a foul on Christy Harrison-Murray. Four minutes for Blues to hang on. McCandy clears away under pressure from Quinn. Has to put it out of play. Finn. Little John Fitzgerald. It's broken for Douglas. Her touch was heavy. Intervention came from Cho So-hyun. Fuso gets there ahead of Fitzgerald. Walker. Finn. So-hyun, useful pocket of space. Smith's made the burst. Can't hit the target. Angle was tight against Libby Smith. Lionesses understandably want to get this on. And on with quickly. Neville. No route to Douglas. There's Quinn. Culver. Can't find Carter. Heron picks up. Heron smuggles it to Cho So-hyun. And Cho So-hyun will settle for the throw-in. Harrison-Murray fancies it with colour for a line. Didn't get a hold of it. 1.5 minutes for the Lionesses to take something from the game. McCandy, Hail Mary time as she sends it high up the field. Douglas surging to the edge of the 18-yard box, looks for Fitzgerald. It's behind her, it's picked up by Finn. And there's Fuso. Harrison-Murray, Walker, Fuso, it's neatly done. Smith looking to hold her run. Quinn's available on the far side of the field. Fuso looked to take it on herself. Loses possession. And anywhere will do for Niamh Heron with 50 seconds on the clock. Heavy challenge comes in on Christy Harrison-Murray. Blues have a free kick as the clock continues to tick down. So that 4 minutes allotted added on. And Blues sensibly will look for the corner. And they've done enough. There is the full-time whistle. Blues make it 7 consecutive league wins. What a statement to the rest of the Women's Championship. Cho So-hyun's first goal in blue, handing Darren Carter's side the 3 points. And what a goal it was. A 25-yard pile driver to open her account in style. That came in the 7th minute. And from there, Blues looked largely comfortable. They did run their luck at times with a few scares from the Lionesses. Alexander struck the crossbar. Danielle Carter forced a splendid block from Ellie Mason. And Boy Halorka forced a routine save, but a save had to be made by Lucy Thomas in the second half. But she was largely untroubled in the second period, the Blues goalkeeper. It's a win that sees Blues keep pace with the leading pack in the Women's Championship on their quest to the Women's Super League. A game in hand over table toppers Sunderland, who they are now just 2 points behind. Black Cats well and truly in their sights. A trip to Watford to come next week, but here Blues will enjoy victory. Unbeaten now here in 6 games at St Andrews, 7 consecutive league wins, and closing in on that Women's Championship title, which is a firm possibility this season. With Tom Wagner in attendance, Blues have certainly put on a display. It's finished Blues 1, London City Lionesses 0.